Okay, so this is our other point of view. So we're thinking the narrator knows everything about everyone. So this would be our example. The boy was excited about the date, but the girl was not excited. Also, their parents were both very excited about the date. Okay, so the narrator just told us everything about everyone. What point of view would that be? Okay, so if I'm explaining where we are right now, and I say we are in the classroom in August, what kind of literary element am I explaining? I'm kind of explaining my location, where we are, what time of the year it is, what is that? Okay, so this is another type of characterization. If I always come to class and I'm super smiley, I always get your grades done on time, I'm always super excited to come to the school, then what kind of characterization do you think that would be? You can assume things about me. So, do you think that would be indirect characterization or my direct characterization? If you can assume things about me based on my facts. Okay, so this is going to be a type of irony. So, are you thinking maybe like a fire station burning down, a pilot who has a fear of heights, or the principal not following dress code? So, what kind of irony do you think that would be? Okay, so this is going to be one of the two types of characterization. If you're thinking, I'm a girl, I have brown hair, I'm wearing glasses, and I'm wearing a navy shirt. How does that characterize me?
Okay, so this is going to be a type of conflict. So maybe if I'm in a fight with my mom, or I am really, really mad at Ms. Duyan, what kind of conflict is that?
Okay, so this is our other type of irony. Think maybe if the whole entire class knows that a girl's about to get asked to homecoming, but that girl doesn't know, what kind of irony do you think that would be? Or maybe in the movie when the whole audience knows that the bad guy's the bad guy, but the good guy does not know. Okay, so what kind of irony do you think that would be?
Okay, so this is going to be a point of view. So you're going to tell me which point of view I'm talking about, all right? I walk to my car after I get out of school. I love to work out after school.
Okay, so this is another type of conflict. Maybe if I'm really struggling to come to work and I don't like to go to work a lot, but I don't tell anybody and I keep it inside. Or if you're thinking maybe in Frozen when Elsa decides to run away, and she doesn't know what to do with her superpower because she doesn't know, what kind of conflict does she have there? This is going to be who we know as the bad guy in the story. Or if we're thinking in terms of Batman, the Joker is the bad guy. Now, what is that called? Okay, so again, this is going to be kind of like making an assumption about something. So if I say the class wasn't really paying attention, so I feel like they won't do well on a test. Okay, so what literary element is that? So just because you weren't paying attention, I can already kind of feel like you won't do well on the test. That's an example of what? Okay, so this is the good guy in the story. If you're thinking Batman, what kind of person is that? What is that called? The good guy. Okay, so this one can be kind of hard, but if you're thinking in terms of literary elements, when they're kind of painting a picture for you in your head. So an example could be her face blossomed when he caught a glance of him. Okay, another one could be the eerie silence was shattered by her scream. Okay, so you're kind of getting a picture painted in your head of what's going on. So what literary element is that? Okay, so this is going to be kind of when you're hinting at something in the future. So if I was like, I would definitely make sure you know this information. You might see it in the future. That would be an example of what I'm kind of already hinting that it's going to be on the test. What is that an example of? Okay, so this is going to be when you give non-living things person-like characteristics. So saying the lightning danced across the sky, or the alarm clock yelled at me this morning, right? Lightning doesn't dance, and the alarm clock doesn't yell. But what kind of literary element is that? Okay, so this is going to be one of those compare and contrast kind of literary elements. So it could be things like she was as happy as a clam, or they thought like cats and dogs. So which literary element is that an example of? Okay, so this is going to be a severe over-exaggeration, okay? So if I'm so hungry I could eat a horse, okay? What kind of literary element would that be?
Okay, so this is kind of going to be the way the author chooses to write things down on the piece of paper. So if he chooses to say words like y'all or maybe use guys, okay, that's the way that he's writing words throughout the piece of work. What kind of literary element is that?
Okay, so this literary element is kind of the way you feel when you're reading something or watching a movie, okay? How it makes you feel. So if we're thinking I'm watching Cloudy the Chance of Meatballs, it's very uplifting. Flint Lockwood rises to the occasion and saves the day. What kind of literary element is that? Kind of like how you feel when you're watching it. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a tough one. So if we're reading a book and the character has a fancy car, it doesn't really matter, like, okay, cool, they have a fancy car, but that is showing that they're wealthy, right? And so that's also like if I'm a teacher, when you give me an apple, that would equal what? So what is that kind of saying? Like apples equals like kind of like you associate with a teacher, and then that fancy car you associate with wealth. What is that an example of with our literary elements? Okay, so again, if we're thinking we're reading a book and the author is telling us she talked sternly and did not mess around, right? So what is that telling you? What kind of literary element is that, right? Kind of about the way they're speaking, their literary element, what is it? Okay. Okay, so again, this is kind of going to be kind of like comparing literary elements. So if we're saying the class was a refrigerator, if we're saying it's cold, right? Or the classroom was a zoo because it was super crazy, right? Or life is a roller coaster because, again, you just never know what you're going to get. So what kind of literary element is that? Okay, so if we're thinking kind of the overall message of a piece of literature or a movie, what kind of literary element would that be? So I have examples for you. If you're thinking Lilo and Stitch, kind of the message would be that family is everything, right? What is that called in terms of literary elements? Another example, Beauty and the Beast, kind of our overall message would be that you can't judge a book by its cover. So what literary element am I kind of hinting at? What does that mean?